Michaell Magrutsche, thank you so much for joining me on a Monday afternoon. I haven't changed the name where I should have changed the name because I'm not getting to all the stuff I'm supposed to get to, but we are talking about awareness again today, and
Okay.
awareness trumps all. That
Mhm.
is your LinkedIn, whatever we want to call it, tagline.
That's
Um,
that's a branding tagline.
that's awareness trumps all.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the episode, right?
Yes.
So I just realized that it's always, when I have to talk, I'm going for a walk first, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, I don't even think about it. I'm not saying, oh, I need to know. I know what to say because that's neurodiversity. That's lets the people know we can be in the moment. So
Mm.
we actually function best in the moment. We
Yeah.
don't have the luxury to have so much life energy that we can actually travel while we are here, travel in the future, in the past,
Mm.
and going into what it's called, it's mind constructs about possibilities that actually never come true,
Yeah.
because every time, who can predict the future? There's You can go as spiritual as you want, nobody can predict the future. And
No.
once they did say something, that's awareness. Somebody they said something and that happened. Man, look at how many people predicted
Mm.
since 1990, right? That the world goes under every year,
Yeah.
right? We have since 99, literally since 1990, we have literally every year that the world goes under. Climate change, water, earthquakes, catastrophes, wars, every year.
Comet. There was asteroids, comets that
As
then strike the
everything. Oh
Earth.
my God. Whatever is always stuff. And this is to get attention. And
Mm.
the danger in that is that people start, because we manifest our reality, right? I mean, there's no devil and stuff in nature,
Mm.
but it is in humanity. There is. I mean, a kitty cat is not the devil because she chases a mouse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's just a natural dance.
Mm.
But in humanity, there's absolutely devil worship and Satanism and all whatever. So
Mm.
we can create everything because we are collective creator animals.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, this is just a prelude. I was just thinking, what is the most, and questions also.
Mm.
I said, why is something? If you want to be aware, you need to ask the questions that your ego is not happy. Your ego says, okay, if I'm making this, I'm getting $1 million.
Mm.
But we never ask, so what am I going to do with the $1 million?
Mm.
If look at all the companies, this is on LinkedIn too. Look at
Yeah.
all the companies. So you start a little cookie business in your town, right? It works. The
Yeah.
next town you say, oh, I can put them in the morning, and they sell them on the other town,
Yeah.
and then over and over. So now you have your district, your county. All of a sudden, you have all England. All
Mm.
England has your cookies.
Mm.
Why do you need to make more? Why do you need to bring the cookies everywhere else? I mean, once you have it, why can you keep the quality? Because it's about the quality. Your cookies are loved because of the quality,
Yeah.
not
But you can't.
because
Yeah, but you can't make cookies for the whole of England yourself. You have to then start
exactly.
compromising or changing your everything. And what is it that made you do it? That's
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you creating? This is
Yeah.
the question. Yeah.
Yeah. So
See,
you
I was
create
been
a
thinking
cookie.
about this whole weekend. Like, what is it that you want to create?
Yeah.
Like people talk about a legacy, or this is the legacy, or this is the thing, or that's the thing, or but do we know what we want to create? We want to have money to do certain things,
Yeah.
and therefore we do certain things that we think are going to help us create that business or the income
Mhm.
stream or the things like that. But how often is it the stuff that we really love to create?
That's the problem. That's the issue, because we talked about the one episode where it's never enough, right?
Mm,
It's
mm,
never enough no matter what we do. So if my cookie is just in my town, why
yeah,
can I not be okay just having those cookies in town? Let the people come and get them and go home with them. It's just
yeah,
like, it's just, why can I not be okay with that? You know,
mm,
because the moment when you quote unquote, that magical word scaling, meaning,
yeah, crazy, yeah.
expanding.
Mm,
Yeah. So you expanding, and then what are you thinking? Do you really get more money? Do you get more free time? Are you more fulfilled in doing that, having the next county too, having the other thing too? It's just, what is the point of creating? When you created the cookies in the first place, it was so fulfilling because you just did it anyway for your family. And there were a couple, say, do a double batch and then give it to the other. That's the
mm,
essential of human creation. We do. But if you fully figured out and said, "Oh my God, really, I don't like to do the cookies anymore. I like that a year ago." Now
yeah,
you're in the whole machinery, and a
mm.
year probably goes easy that you can just say, "Oh, do something else." But if you're 2 years, then you have to find somebody to buy your cookies in, because you're not interested in that anymore.
And
And
this is exactly what this. I don't know who this is. LinkedIn user. Thanks for commenting, but for is saying that I often don't feel it's a thing for me. So not creating the thing, the cookie, but the feeling. And
yeah,
sometimes I think when the thing becomes bigger, the feeling gets lost
yeah,
because you get so busy
beautiful,
with
beautiful, yeah,
creating. Yeah.
yeah,
And this is
because
what I also don't understand. It's like these people that are so successful in whatever business they're
yeah,
doing, they could just go and live the life that they really wanted to live, but they get so swept up in making
system
more.
relevant. In
Yeah.
what system? So when you're creating cookies, it's primarily about you feeling great,
Mm.
creating cookies and having the feedback from people, and if they like them, you wouldn't even grow if they wouldn't like it. So it's basically human centrically success. But
Yeah.
let's you love that, and then the system relevance slowly takes over, and that's why you're not enjoying it anymore, because it asks you to scale. It's never enough. Every 3 months you need to increase your thing. You can't just say, if it takes me 10 years, it takes me 10 years,
But
to
yeah. To do what though? You know what I
to,
mean?
yeah,
So
to do what? The question is, do what? But if I say I wanted to have cookies, and then in one night I feel like, the cookies I want to do all over England,
mm,
and I said, it doesn't have to have tomorrow, but I have my whole
yeah,
life to do this.
yeah.
And also, I would question that. I would say, so what? Okay, so your cookies are in all. What is the meaning of that?
Mm,
Is that a meaning that you're worthy because you're system relevant? Because you're worthy by nature. You're born. You're worthy. You're one of one.
yeah. But it could also be that I really want to share my cookies with you because it makes me feel so good to eat the cookies that I want
Yeah,
to you to experience that
yeah,
feeling of tasting cookies that are so amazing,
yeah,
or the story behind the cookie, or whatever it is. So there can be a
yeah.
creative process around really anything that you do, as long as it's keeps the awareness going. Because awareness needs to be
Yes.
refreshed almost
Oh, yeah. It's like a
moment,
vision.
every
It's a
moment.
vision. You have a
Yeah.
vision, but you grow. So the vision can't be always perfect. That's why, and most company pay once for a vision statement and it stays stagnant, and then they get outdated, and that's the problem. It's like you need to constantly be aware and saying, so I want people to experience my food and whatever. Yes, and then so, but I need to bring it in balance, that I'm not just focusing on the distribution of my cookies,
Mm.
but make sense in a harmony. And this, again, we always reference to the other episode, it's never enough. So the
Mm.
financial principles say, whatever you do and love doing,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
make it bad system relevantly, because it's never enough. So
Mm.
if I'm an artist and I have the blessing that people love my art,
Mm.
then it becomes system relevant.
Yeah.
And I think what I think right now is we might don't even want to be system relevant anymore,
Mm.
balancing,
Yeah.
because we say it sucks out the joy and fun of everything, you know?
Unless we are aware. Unless
Yeah,
we are aware of the difference between the human centricity and the system relevance.
system
So
relevance. Yeah,
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 so I was standing in a queue, a very, very long queue on Saturday. I was lucky because it was only 2 hours in this queue to vote. But standing in the queue, I got to watch everybody because it's something that I really like to do.
yeah.
And then you start, you know, judging, and you become aware of the judging, and it's like, why am I judging that, and why is that irritating me, and why is that good or bad,
Mm,
so and I thought about, we've been sharing some of your quotes, which are really cool on the Instagram page, around there is no judgment in art, and life
yeah,
is art.
yeah,
So but as these things happen, though, because we're human,
mm, yeah,
but then awareness comes in, and you go, okay, why is that happening? So it becomes like that observer. I can step away and go, what's going on? This is interesting, and this is
yeah,
all going
yeah.
on within me. But
And
it
it's
was,
just a feeling. It's just a feeling. So you feel pissed at whatever, and you might be feeling pissed because somebody takes 2 hours of your life away, because it's so
yeah,
precious to be alive.
or
You can be
someone pushes in the queue. I mean,
like,
or
or
something like that.
somebody reminds you of something. It could be
Yeah,
so many things. If you're
yeah,
not aware, you just react. Yeah, you're
yeah,
just pissed. But I want to know. See, that's why I say questions are so important in awareness, because
mm,
why am I having this emotion? Because
mm,
emotions are treasure, because they're feedback
yeah,
loops. They're not true. They're my feedback loops. So if I like your cookie, then but if I hate your cookie, it's also my feedback loop, and it has nothing to do with anything else.
yeah,
So you how can you, because everybody's one-on-one, so you can't judge, you can observe, you must observe, because in the observation and comparison between you and others, you
mm,
find yourself. Because when you say, I hate what Michaell says,
mm,
then you say, okay,
yeah,
I don't want that what Michaell has,
yeah,
and there's nothing, and see, and then it stops already, because there's nothing else to say, because I'm 101 and you are 101. So you need
yeah,
to compare. I need to compare, but not to judge who is better or worse. Just to find
yeah,
out more your thing. Okay, I don't like what Michaell says. Oh, I like what Michaell says. Let me
mm,
try that. And
yeah,
it's all about the experience. It's the dance, and then the experience that we have to become more of us, to find more of us, not to find more of the other. Because it's like, it's systemically, it's saying, oh, you got to listen or whatever. You know
yeah,
already before if you resonate with that person or not, with your six senses. You can be
yeah,
surprised. That's why I'm saying, give it the
yeah,
benefit of the doubt. Just
yeah,
have that, you know,
yeah,
um, be open, because we don't know, because you experienced man always as good,
mm,
doesn't mean every man is good. See,
no,
it's like the generalizing. All these people that I experienced are that way, and this generalizing is our killer. If we generalize, oh, woman, oh, all women are this, men are all this. No,
all artists, or all white people, or all
doctors,
South Africans, or all,
politicians are all bad. All
yeah,
politicians are bad. So,
yeah,
it's just the generalization kills us.
yeah.
And,
And that's where the judgment comes in. So it's fine to not agree with what Michaell says, or
yeah,
not like what you say. I
yeah,
actually quite like talking to people who I don't agree with, because then I
yeah.
can understand a different perspective of certain issues. Doesn't mean I want to agree with you or disagree with you. You don't have to agree with
It's not
me.
about that. It's not
No.
about that. I'm not voting for you. It's not. It's not a voting. Vote
Yeah.
for me. Vote for you. It's just, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, like it. It really, both is not. I mean, obviously, liking feels better because it's reaffirming your essence,
Mm.
but it might not. See, it might reaffirm your ego. If
Yeah.
they're like, oh, Michelle, you're the greatest, and you take it on. Oh my God, Allah, he's so nice, or whatever. And in real, I do it to take advantage of you. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Oh,
so
I mean, that just makes me suspicious, because nothing about anybody is so great unless you really know them, which we
Yeah,
don't really know each other completely ever,
yeah.
because there's so many aspects to us and we
You
change.
grow.
The
Also,
whole
you
point.
grow.
Yeah,
You have a trauma or have a super success, it changes you, you know?
yeah, yeah. And LinkedIn user, I wish they would tell us who it is, because it'd be great to say your name. But they also say life is art, life is play, life is beautiful. So, and life's a dance. It's around that, not taking ourselves too seriously in the process, to be aware of the other players, within the
Mhm.
game. As if we're talking about the
Yeah.
infinite kind of long game again, and to also be aware of ourselves and why we have certain reactions. For me, it's quite interesting to try and see why certain things irritate me, or I love other things, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Um,
And I would say,
oh.
and I
um,
would say, sorry, I didn't want to. I wanted to say something to that. Yeah, life is beautiful and all that stuff. That's true. That's true. See, that's I want them to experience that's true
mm,
because it's their perception. Yes, it's true, and there's another perspective on that to see that life is beautiful, life is art, and all this stuff. I don't know what the I'm neurodiverse. I don't remember things, but so when you say that, you need the others too to define that as beautiful, to define life. So you need to have if everything was always art, beautiful and joyous, you wouldn't see it as beautiful and joyous. You have to see either, and this is the shift what we're doing now. In the old, you had to say the good and the bad. Now you can see the good and the better. That's another where you don't have to go into the good and the bad, and then you say, oh, it has the opposite. No, doesn't have the opposite. You can see, when I do this, it's great, but when I add this little thing to it, it is just better. It just is
yeah.
more fulfilling. It's another layer of thing.
Mm,
So don't go in absolute because somebody says art is beautiful and life is beautiful and whatever. Somebody says that, yeah, it is, but you can't go. It's like believing God. It's a jump. It's a leap versus be in touch with nature to experience God. Your connection to
yeah,
God, because everybody
yeah,
has a different connection to God or to the universe or whatever. That's even that. See, it's so dirty, that word. It's made so dirty by our wanting to say, I have this enlightenment. You have to have that enlightenment. No, you don't. You don't. You know.
yeah, yeah. And even, I mean, even to not judge it at all. I know it calls saying, yeah, it is,
Yeah.
life is beautiful because it's art, because there's contrasts in it. It is because there's dark and light and all these
Yeah.
things that overlap. And we spoke about last time as well, that this thing that's lying over in the painting, or the thing that's not fitting into the painting or in the music or the whatever, is the thing that makes the music so special or the painting so special, because it creates that order and disorder
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
um, but then, even to go, it doesn't have to be amazing, it doesn't even have to feel good
Yeah.
always. It's still art, it's
Hmm.
still life, it still is.
Hmm.
And only through awareness can I see myself as a part of it, and not being swept away by whatever's happening, or my
Disconnected from it.
yeah,
Disconnected from it.
yeah,
The awareness allows you to be connected by understanding the essence what's happening, and you need to compare it. You need not to judge but to compare is a magic for the observer. When you get in that state that we are, and it's not better or anything, we just found that out. When you become the observer instead of the uh, instead of the judger,
mm,
you need to compare. You need to compare because it's just natural that you compare. Okay, what does she do? What I didn't do, or what because that's in the observation of what you're learning. You're learning to experience somebody else doing something, and you learn. That's why we are scrolling on the thing. You want to experience other people experience something, then you can relate with your six senses to it.
mm. Because there is there's a change in us. By experiencing more, we become different through every experience.
Aware. We become more aware.
Yeah.
So if I say all women are crazy and then I fall in love with a person on social media, I cannot say all women are crazy. I mean, just, I cannot make any judgment that I have. When they say, all politicians are crazy, and then I see a politician that does really something good, then politicians are not all crazy and all bad. It's just,
Yeah.
it opens when you're the observer and compare, not comparing that you systemically now say,
Yeah.
but you do that automatically that's in the human DNA, to observe and to grow. And we're always growing. And I want to loop back to what I wanted to say to you as just finish the story. Why awareness rules all. It's because look, what is the biggest attention getter that you have currently? And in systems, it's all about attention. What is the biggest attention getter? Is unveiling. It's unveiling. Okay, this politician did some crooked stuff. This company did some. It's all the way, but it's very dangerous because it's not awareness. It's just unveiling. It's the finger pointing. And when you look at Armenians, Jews, they were scapegoated. That means the finger pointing is scapegoating, is blaming somebody for your misery. And this has it has become so natural to us. Say, oh, Michelle made me depressed. I don't even know.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, I'm depressed. That's one fact. And this is about awareness too. I'm depressed. She might have triggered something in me. She does not want to depress me. She might have said a word that triggered my depression in me that I depressed. I didn't express. And we said, depression. Depression is the lack of expression,
Yeah.
Because and I had a friend, a really good friend, and she said she want to go into financial. She doesn't want a job. She wants to do her own stock trading.
Yeah.
And I said, a lot of people do, not a lot, but there's many people that do. I know that do stock trading. And some can live good, and some need a job on the side. And I said, okay, let's say you had that. See, that's why I always say why. Why is my essential thing? And I said, why when you have this, what is your expression? How do you express your one of oneness? Because she knows about what we talk.
Yeah.
And I said, what is your one of expression? Yes, you're making money. It's a job for the money. But what is and you might like it, but that doesn't mean you express yourself. See, it's like, what are you doing to express it? You have to do this
Which
job.
doesn't have to be in your job. You can but to keep the balance, you need to find your expression. Yeah.
She can say, I make money. I take that money and I go ice skating because I love doing an ice skating. I express myself. Or I'm going to to enjoy talking to these people or listening to something and do. But it's always generalized. See, it's like, once I have money, you can do whatever I want. Do you? You don't know what you want. There's so many products and services out there today. Where are you going to go? You're just going to look what other people do and copy them? Oh, you bought a Bentley, I'm buying a Bentley. Oh, you bought Chanel, I buy Chanel. Are you going into this special where nobody can get it? I get there.
Which defeats the purpose. And what I hear from what you're saying also is that with that awareness, there comes a responsibility that you need to take responsibility for how you are affected within your choices and in your world. I was I was talking to Scott about it the other day, my husband, and I was telling him about this at the Met Gala or whatever. This one actress, I don't even know who it was. It was just a thing that I saw. But she went in a towel. She had a towel wrapped around her and she had a towel on her head. And I mean, for me, that is where it all should be going at the end.
Yeah.
You know, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
She could have worn a thousands of dollars worth of outfit, or she could go in a towel, which probably cost her a couple of thousand because there's probably
Yeah.
gold glitter on it or something. I don't know.
Gold, yeah.
Yeah.
Diamonds thrown into the towel.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's freedom, isn't it? When you can, and you don't need money for that. You don't need money to
Yeah.
wear a
You
towel
can just be
necessarily.
you. You be
You can
you.
just be you. Yeah.
Why can you not be you? And actually, anytime anybody's you, it gets a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Not to get attention. See, there's a difference. I said it in my book the same. I said it's not attention for attention's sake, but the attention of expressing you. My doggy.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I need to let my doggy out. He's crank.
No problem.
Come on, doggy. Yeah.
Yes, Carl, that's exactly it. The once I have is a very slippery slope, but it's something that we kind of, I don't know, get conditioned to. That once I have, you know, if I have enough money, then I'll be happy. Or if I meet my perfect partner, I'll be happy. Or when I move to Bali and live on the beach, I'll be happy. It's a
This
difficult
assumption, and
concept.
that's all assumptions too. You know, they're
Yeah,
all assumptions. So and also you say two things. Number one, they are assumption because nobody knows the future. Nobody knows. You can only when you experienced it. So
yeah,
it's easier to say that when you live, you know, for months in Bali. It's easier to say I could live here. But if
yeah,
you're not, you know, if you lived on a beach and then you say, no, I want to live on Bali on a beach, that's a
yeah,
presumption. Yeah. And
yeah.
then the other thing is what you're saying every time you say, I want that instead of this. You're saying
Mm,
this isn't worthy. This isn't good. This where I am now is not good enough.
mm,
And I need something else. I said, no, when you enjoy really the now, you can grow it automatically. It will automatically, the universe will automatically support you when you enjoy where you are. Uh, and that you don't say, oh, it's the best that I ever want. No, 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 no. That it's open. Everything is open to change.
yeah.
But
True
I
awareness.
I will do really enjoy the moment because
Mm,
it's like what can be good. Also, your awareness and perception also. So what do you need to change where you are now to enjoy that? And let's say, and that's what the question is. What if you never reach to be in Bali? What if you never have the money? What if you never get the Rolls Royce?
mm,
What let's say I'm literally erasing that from your memory. That isn't. So that isn't. So what can you hear in the moment enjoy? First
mm.
of all, you're alive. When people, you ask me how you're doing, and I say I'm alive, which is the biggest present ever because we wanted to be physical. We want to be, and I'm not spiritual. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm just alive. I'm Michael. I'm here. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's it. That's satisfactory.
yeah,
Do I feel better if I have great food? Do I feel better if I have friends like you?
mm,
Do I feel better to have? Yes, but
yeah,
I was looking for a friend,
yeah,
Michelle. You weren't looking for a friend. We say we make one
yeah,
podcast. We make one podcast. That's it. See you later. Hi. That's
yeah,
it. We do one dance. And now, it's just, it
yeah,
happens. You have to, that awareness is so powerful. I'm not saying, oh, Michelle, now I need 10 people like Michelle. And I don't even appreciate that one of one dance,
yeah,
I'm denying our dance. I'm denying your essence. And I'm saying, Michelle showed me I need 10 of Michelle's. So I'm getting really out there. And it will never work. It's like we're trying to repeat this episode. We can't.
No, because then it becomes a system. Then it
Yeah.
becomes okay. I have to, and then we can't ever be enough again
Yeah.
because no one is Michael and no one is Michelle and
Yeah.
no one will ever have this conversation in this
Exactly.
way ever again.
And when you feel that, when you allow yourself to feel that, how precious it is to be in a moment, especially with another human, because what I read recently, that reminded me of it, was that you can do everything by yourself. You can get a a diploma by yourself. You can create something. You can eat by yourself. You can live in a hut, whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't learn anything about human. You need another human. There's no other way. You can read all the. That's why I say you can read all the books on love,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And, and if you never feel love with somebody,
Yeah.
these books are worthless. Completely, this knowledge is completely worthless
Yeah.
because it's all about being human. It's all about dancing with other human experience. And if you think, then you're not dancing. Then you're in fight flight. Then you cannot think rationally. So I'm not saying be peaceful, but your awareness creates also. That's what's so important about awareness. Your boundary.
Yeah.
Because if you know that person always intentionally or whatever unintentionally, affects you,
Mm.
and the psychologist or anybody, your husband or somebody says to you, this is not right. This is putting his stuff on you.
Yeah.
The moment you know that, you change automatically.
Yeah.
Because you define your boundaries differently. So awareness is a responsibility uh, to define your one-of-one boundary. You're one of one, and you need to know where that one of one stops and where it goes, and not because system says, "Oh, become the superstar, become the most thing. You are everybody loves you and whatever." That's completely BS.
Yeah.
You are one of one. Be
Mm.
responsible for your one, and by and know that you need to be aware why and why you want to do it and what it is and where it comes from. You need to question especially the things that are very seductive. For example, hey Michelle, let's go to the movie, and you just say, yeah, okay. Where it's like, why should I go? Do I really want to go to the movie, or do I want to read my book, finish my book, or whatever? It's just and 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 that's why you need to have that awareness, because awareness is the key to your one-on-one, and it's also treating other people humane, because when you're self-aware, then you have that compassion that is naturally,
Yeah.
because you say, I'm aware Michelle is one-on-one
Mm.
and she does this, and it's not for me to say, and then why does it bug me that Michelle does that?
Yeah.
And then ask. And it could be that Michelle said it's just her, or it
Yeah.
could be that Michelle always tell me, I would do this diet, I would do this pill, I would do this, because whatever worked for you
Yeah.
cannot be generalized. It cannot.
Yeah.
I mean, if your kids, you cannot generalize your kids. They're two different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different in your husband. They're all different unities. And in that interaction, you learn about what the power of being human,
Yeah.
and that's,
But it starts with me. If I can see myself as one of one, as
yeah.
me, as
And you are,
why I'm being affected by the wind or the stars or
yeah,
the whatever, my husband snoring, or
yeah,
then I can go, okay, you must feel similar in your own way,
yeah,
so therefore you will behave differently because you are you. And
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, awareness is a superpower, really, isn't it?
yeah.
But it's something that you have to practice and um, kind of not take for granted either, because then you lose it, because then it just becomes another thing that you
Can be
did.
controlled like art can, but that's why art and awareness are so intricately linked,
Yeah.
because there is no given thing.
Mm.
Only in system relevant when you look at the art product, because you just look at saying, okay, that looks like a Picasso, that looks like this,
Yeah.
like that's just a generalization.
Yeah.
But art doesn't want anything but you get an inspiration, you want to be created. That's it. And it wants to be created and shown to at least one person. It wants to be exposed, because in that you become aware of what you created, that somebody else can engage with you, and that's the whole. What we question about life is all packed into art and awareness. I don't think there's anything more powerful than art and awareness. And that also what that would help us stop wars. It would stop hurting each other, because what is everybody doing? Just consuming. I mean, even if you get it for free, you consuming. Where's your expression? How do you, perhaps we leave it with
Yeah.
the things. Ask yourself, where is your one of one expression? Not, oh, I'm a woman. No, I'm this race, I'm that race. Oh, I'm a trans. That is driving you away from your one on one is. You know, I'm in the art community, trans and, non-binary and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're all different. Wake up call. You are all one of one. You're not a group. You can
Yeah.
say, okay, yeah, it's like woman. Oh, you're a woman. That is so dirty. You're one of one each. I'm not a man. I'm one of one. Perhaps I'm not even identifying.
Well, Perry threw this in, and I was going to
Harry
end it.
baby, Harry baby.
Perry is asking, Michaell, what is art?
A fat. Art is a fat.
That's
No,
a big
no.
question.
No. Art is it needs to be looked at system relevant and human centrically, because system relevantly it's a commodity. So if you create something good like a cookie, right? Like we're going back, then people will buy it. If nobody likes a cookie, then it's not even considered a cookie. Then it's some garbage you create.
Yeah.
So art is only when the generalization of in the system relevant people agree this is art, and they put you in a grid. But art human centrically is the key to your awareness, and that's why it's so much powerful. And we have a talk about this, Michelle. I know we're really gonna dive in, because I need you to dive in there, because I always need you.
I think we must, and we invite Perry, because we're now 6 minutes over. So Perry,
only naked. If Perry comes naked, we don't allow dressed. As you see, we don't. That means metaphorically, we don't like dressed people.
Yes.
Undress is.
And I mean, art is the expression of your awareness for me as well.
And your oneness. It's also the key to understand your oneness. Because if I feel like yellow, you might feel like red. I said, what do you feel right now? And we would say always different things. And that's our expression of our essence. Right now, my essence is blue, okay, or green, or whatever. Yeah. And you express that. And so this is really the value. That's why I say the value of art. That's why I have my 30-second podcast. The Smarter Part is all based on where the power lays. I'm always getting, where is the power for me, not for anybody else, for me. And that's what I express. And then people can say, oh, I got a lot of knowledge with art creation. Or they say, no, I like to buy a Mona Lisa. I like to have the art. Everything is okay. There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope we've answered Perry's question. Sir Perry from Hollandia.
I'm busy with Rick Rubin's book, as you know, and he's busy talking now about experimentation and inspiration, and how inspiration is the first priority to humans, to act on inspiration. And on the list, the audience comes last. It's inspiration, and then it's the artist or the person, and the audience is on the list, but they're at the bottom, or they are the last ones that are of importance.
But they're on the bottom because they're not because they are not worthy.
No,
they are very important, but they're not important in the context that system says that you can live. They're not need to be given. I need to submit to you. I need to surrender to the audience and create what the audience wants, because it's impossible. He's so right, because it's impossible to know. Because if I say, okay, this, with your husband, he sings, okay, or you sing, Scott, you will have that. I think that would be a great jacket. And there's a red jacket next to, because he likes a navy jacket. You always wear navy jackets.
Yeah.
And there's a red jacket next to it. And it's a very good red, but you say, I know, Scott, you like that, double band, all this stuff. And he says, no, actually, I would go with the red, because you never know what the other person knows, because they're one of ones. If they weren't one of ones, you could know everything, and that's why data would be great. That's why I say that the knowledge of data is manipulation. The cause of knowing everything what you do is manipulation. But if you're aware, it's not. See, but if you're aware, it's not, because you change every day and you're aware, oh, I changed today or whatever. So
that's why the audience is there, not because, as you say, they're unimportant, but they are unimportant in the creative act,
exactly.
in the creation part.
Yes.
In the rest of it, yes, they have a big role to play, but your audience is going to change. So if you start to create anything for an audience, you know, whatever it is, then you're not creating anymore. You are using data and fulfilling needs and whatever.
Generalization. You use data, and that's generalization. And they're obviously they're more targeted to you. I mean, but I tell you, just Pandora and Spotify see me as Latino, so all the advertising, because I'm a percussionist and I listen to Latin jazz and salsa music, the real one, not just the whitewashed one. So you know, I'm a listener, and so they see the algorithm says I'm, and so all the advertisers are in Spanish, which I don't understand yet.
So the universe is pushing you to maybe learn Spanish as well.
Yeah,
Michael, we've gone over a lot, but it is so worth it, as it always is.
It's the greatest.
2 weeks time, we're back, and we are going to, and we invite Perry to come and bring in the art.
Only Perry, nobody else. No, we invite everybody else, you know. But we need to tell Perry that we invite him first because he's the king, and then no, we invite everybody who wants to dance with us. And it's not serious. Please don't be serious when you talk to us. There's no seriousness. It's wisdom, and most creativity comes actually from dancing and playing. You know, that's the highest creativity.
And stillness. Our next one is about awareness in stillness and wisdom. So, you know, what do we get from being still sometimes? Thank you.